You know what? I have not done a live stream in a very long time. I think the last time I did one was last month, and I didn't. Well, no, people can watch this in the if they're just curious to watch, or maybe some people will come into the chat. But I know I really didn't give much of a heads up that I'd be doing this. Oh, awesome! Looks like we got one person in the chat. Heck yeah! Doing good. How y'all doing? Good to see that people are coming into the chat. I know I haven't done a live stream in a while. 1 second. What's up, you guys? Anyway, feels good that people are slowly coming in because I know, like I said, I haven't done a live stream in about a month, and a lot of interesting things have happened. Um, I'll give it about 2 or 3 more minutes before I'll let people come on through and listen to some of the stuff that I've done the last few weeks. Like the whole situation with my car that has been I was expecting that those videos probably wouldn't do all that well, but it's always good to it's always good just to have it for posterity reasons. That way, you can look back on it and say, I did that. Although the algorithm does not like it. And I imagine, thank you, Zach, for all the love. I feel like he's the one who's hitting the buttons. Anyway, that's another thing, too, I want to talk about here in the next few minutes. Um, just because if y'all have seen my shorts, my fourth book releases in 2 days. And I'm really curious to see how this one's going to do. Ghost and Mysteries of St. Augustine didn't really do all that well, but I kind of figured probably the reason why it didn't is because there is a what's the word, oversaturation of books or on the paranormal surrounding St. Augustine. Ho ha ha ha! Perfect weather in here in Las Vegas. Car. Well, yeah. I mean, the real Crystal Vintage. I mean, gosh. I mean, you know what? I've never been to Las Vegas. I mean, one of these days I would like to go just to say that I've been. One of the things that I'd like to see out there is the Hoover Dam. I mean, I want to say that those aren't really all that far away, but anyway, but no, actually, as Zach was saying, I'm from the East Tennessee area. Both of us are. But I mean, East Tennessee is a really pretty area. I mean, I think it's kind of underrated. I mean, well, let me rethink that. Yeah, I mean, we got the Great Smoky Mountains. I mean, that's. But I will say, one of my favorite places, and I know I've talked about it a whole bunch up and down, but a really underrated topic or like really cool location are the springs in Florida. Like, I think that for some reason, I think people miss that a lot. But dude, it's just like it'll take you to like an entirely another or into entire another realm. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, I would like to. I don't know. There are a few places that I want to check out here in the future. I know summer's coming up. I don't think that there's really. I thought that I would be doing something with the family, but vacation wise, but I don't know, just stuff behind the scenes. I don't think that's going to happen, but just gives me a whole. I mean, one of the things that that I went. Yeah, Zach, I saw that. Um, but one of the story or one of the things that actually this will be going in my fifth book, but since I've been kind of dabbling and working on different types of video production methods, I do listen and I do listen to feedback to just create new stuff. One of the big things that Zach, I need to get back with you on is the Bigfoot sightings of Bradley County, here in our neck of the woods. I mean, oh well, I mean, there is one. Okay, speaking of places, Real Crystal Vintage, I do want to see the sequoias. I mean, I know that's a little bit more in California. Maybe one day I'll make that as a I'll make that as a venture. I'll tell you, actually, there is one, and I did find it online. It is doable, but it is. I think it's like hiking like 3 miles into a canyon. But there, I forget what the movie was. I think it was like filmed in like the 60s or 70s, something like that. But there was a train. No, actually, it wasn't the 50s or 60s. I think it went back farther than that. But anyway, it was an actual locomotive, like an old locomotive, like 040. I think it's a 040 or a 404. Anyway, they blew up the bridge with it on it, and the train, the locomotive, and the cars are still there in the ravine, but they're just a real pain to hike to. I do want to do that, and maybe I can get a group of friends to take on the occasion. But I mean, Gary Wayne. One second. Well, actually, speaking about that, anyway, that's what people tell me. If I go to somewhere like California, I mean, if they say I won't come back, I'll love it so much. But I mean, but anyway, but yeah, Zach, we need to finish that. I mean, it's on the chopping block. Actually, I need to get in touch with you since I'm working on my fifth book, Ghosts and Mysteries of Bradley County Homecoming. The follow up of the first book that I ever did. It's just like I know I've said it probably a few times in my live streams and in my videos, but it's like it was a total pain to get the stories that I got for for my first book. But it's like after the first book came out, that's when everybody wanted to tell their ghost stories, and I'm like, you know what? Heck with it. Heck it. We will write another one surrounding my hometown. But yeah, I mean, well, you know what? Sky Ridge or Crystal Vintage. I mean, yeah. I mean, like I said, but anyway, what's Gary Wayne? Well, one second. Let me look. I'm gonna read this real quick. See what Gary Wayne societies and the design. Huh. Okay, that's kind of interesting. I'll put that one down in my list about secret societies. One second. Secret societies and that is okay. That is an interesting topic. But one second. One second. Let me get down here, you guys. Okay. I'm gonna look that up. Real Crystal Vent. Oh, I mean, I've already looked it up, but you know what? I don't know. I mean, if I go down the rabbit hole with secret societies, I mean gosh, I might disappear. Nah, no. I don't know. I mean, I find like I like to I like that kind of stuff. Hearing how like some things tick. But yeah, Zach, there another story that I need to do is that one that happened with your family. That one. That's going to be another one. Anyway, like I said, it's just like so many ideas. Second, there are tons of. Like I said, Real Crystal Vintage. I'm gonna check him out. Like after the live stream, I'm gonna check him out. Um, well, thank you, Zach. I mean, that's what I went to school for, and I mean that was I don't know. Maybe it's both a blessing and a curse that I got a degree in journalism. It's just like I don't fit the mold of a typical journalist. But anyway, Christian contrarian. Huh. One second. Let me check something out real quick. Huh. Okay then. That's actually going against the world. I like that. Well, what do you mean by it? One second. Let me. Well, okay. Real crystal vintage. That's what I like. I mean, I guess that I mean the algorithm will send people in those ways, I suppose. Um, but anyway, really, Area 52. Okay, I'm going to again. Let me put this one down in. Okay, let me save this, and I'm going to put that down in. I'll tell you, here lately, I've been listening to a lot of the Y Files and Art Bell reruns, like especially when I get off from work. I do play some of his Area 52. My okay. Well, I'm gonna put that one on my save list as well. Like I said, it's so interesting how YouTube works nowadays. Yeah, I mean, wait, the Jerry Mara. Okay, well, let me save that. But yeah, I mean, Zach, that's kind of what I mean, I do. The more you talk about it, it's like I kind of do want to maybe do something that you kind of see similar to like Kentucky Melody. That's another good one. Kentucky Melody, Dixie After Dark. Those are some really good ones that that require voiceover stuff and not really so much in the vlogging sphere of things. One second. Let me one second. Real Crystal Vintage. Let me type in Jeff Mara. People. Well. Okay then. Okay. That. You know what? I think that's another one that I think. Another one I'm going to check out. Thank you for showing me that one. And speaking of that, there are a few books on the paranormal like that as well. She is a friend of mine, but she's made a lot of good recommendations. One of, I think it's like Flight 404. Anyway, the guy who wrote it, he was like a total atheist, and it's like he recorded like all these paranormal things and weird things that was happening because of this plane crash, and they took they put them all anyway. It's like Flight 404. Anyway, it was like a plane that went down. It's a oh, and there's actually one on Ghost Stories, like with truck driving or truckers. Anyway, I got to get to that. I got to get off my butt. And like I said, I mean, I'm kind of glad that I'm kind of done with my fourth book, which now I got to work on my fifth book. I mean, it's like I said, it's the journalist in me, I guess you could say. But oh, no problem, Real Crystal Vintage. Like I said, I mean, I'm always up to listen and read up on different things. I mean, there's like there since we're talking about the paranormal, I do have one Skywater piece. Skywater piece. One second. I think that we might be anyway. I'm having a brain fart. Okay. Okay then. Um, but anyway, well, actually, since we're since I'm talking about my fourth book, here is my author's copy. This one will be on my Amazon store. And if you want to, like, I mean, I've got like I said, my other books. They're in the comments section. Not this live stream, but if you go to like my other videos, you'll find it. But saw first on Heather. Okay, then. Like I said, there's. I said I really like the. It's like, let me get Heather Tish channel. Second, let me get this. Anyway, I'm reading the recommendation. Heather Tish. That is an interesting name. It happens. Okay, then. Happens. Okay, then that sounds like that would be like, I mean, Beyond with Heather Tish. I think I'm saying her name. Okay, that sounds like actually sounds really interesting. And actually, I mean, I've been, I don't know, near death. Well, some people call them, near death experiences, or people that have been, shown to be clinically dead, but then they come back like 5-10 minutes later. They resuscitate them, and they come with stories, from the other side. I always thought that was interesting, because there's a lot of interesting things that I don't know. I've always just found like that kind of stuff to be very interesting. Um, but actually, this turned out to be a good live stream. I'm glad that I did it tonight. Yay, yay! More people found me. Um, but looks like there's one person in the chat right now. I'm gonna do the thing. 100, anyway. Okay. But anyway, anyhow, where was I going with that thought? But my fourth one is y'all saw the top. It's anyway, it's all like the ghost stories, the cryptid history, the archaeological mysteries and wonders, and the unexplained phenomenon in the Tennessee State Park Service. Like I was saying, East Tennessee is where I'm from, and I mean, Tennessee State Park Service is beautiful, but I mean, there's also a lot of like one of the stories that I covered. It is, I mean, it's a cryptid. I mean, it's a Bigfoot cryptid, but it's called the White Screamer, and the White Screamer. Anyway, the story involving that, it happened. This, as the lore goes, this happened back like right after the Civil War had ended. You had a man. He was a veteran. He went back to his family farm. They took care of things. Everything was going well. Well, one night he hears a scream. Anyway, this scream, it echoes throughout the valley right next to his home. It scares his kids, his wife. He gets up, he goes around, looks for it, can't find anything. Next day or next night, same thing happens. And when this happens, he goes after the creature. But the end of the story is he finds his, like, the more he chases it into the woods, the more he gets lost. And at the very end of it, he hears a scream, but it's his wife's scream. And he ends up going back to their cabin, and he finds that, well, all his wife and children are, or well, unalived, I guess you could say. But anyway, as the story goes, he writes down a note. He goes off into the woods looking for the thing, and he's never heard from again. That's another cryptid, but probably the best known cryptid here in the Tennessee State Park Service or area is the Pigman. The Pigman of Meeman Shelby State Forest, and that's another interesting topic. I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe next live stream I do. Maybe I will read a select. Maybe I'll do it both as a live stream and as just a video. But anyway, I mean, I'll talk about, like I said, you all probably saw the whole situation with my car, those last few videos. Anyway, I'll reiterate, my family, we were, second, there we go. We were going out to this place called McKay's here in our area, and it's a used bookstore, but it's also got a lot of cool used media. But anyway, I saw a big puddle of oil coming from beneath my car, so I got under it. I checked it, put it up on the ramps, and anyway, couldn't find the leak. When I popped the hood, I saw that there was oil coming out. So I ended up taking it to a mechanic that's here in not far in town, and well, they tried charging me $3,200 to fix the car. And why they wanted to charge $3,200, I don't know. It's like one of those things that you can tell. Like, I mean, I did well, I mean, I still do mechanic work, but let me see. They wanted to replace my valve cover gasket. They wanted to replace all my transmission oil coolant lines, and they quote unquote said they might break my radiator. Anyway, by the time everything was said and done, I fixed it all on my own, and I did it on $186. So anyway, if that tells you anything about mechanics in certain areas, but anyway, I've been driving it around for a week and a half now, and she's still going strong. So anyway, go Toyota. Well, I mean Scion, Toyota, Scion. They're one and the same. But oh yeah, and also in my last live stream, I talked about it, but I thought that everything was looking good, but I did not get the job with Metro Plumbing. I kind of thought that I would get Metro Plumbing, to really get myself, well, I mean, but then again, I mean, I'm not going to cancel it out. I mean, I just didn't make it in this hiring cycle. But there's still a chance. But it's kind of like, you know what? The way my brain works, I think I could probably do pretty well in that. But also another cool thing is well, we're getting the metal foundry up and running. It looks like I might be able to give ghost tours um, through the Metal Foundry. I mean, you can find that on another channel. It's the Cleveland Metal Foundry, and I've done videos on it too. But it's really cool. We had a lot of interesting experiences, and there is another group that I'm just waiting on getting the okay from the owner to go through and see what all is there. I mean, I have a generalization of what's going on there, and I have had experiences there as well. So anyhow, it's just a matter of researching and plus, I mean, here in my hometown, I would love to do ghost tours, but it's anyway, it's just a matter of safety constraints. Huh. Well, I mean, thanks, Zach. I mean, that's kind of how, well, I mean, Metro is all the way in Chattanooga, but I don't know. I mean, Cleveland, I applied for a temp job, and then I applied for just another run of the mill 9 to 5. I mean, as of right now, I mean, I'm just well, I mean, granted, I mean, YouTube is, this platform has always been good to me, even with even the current struggles that are going on right now. Platform wide, I'm not the only guy that's, I mean, some of these channels that have like a million plus subscribers, they're only pulling like 15,000 views, 20,000 views a video. And that is, and they didn't do anything. It's just whatever YouTube is doing with this algorithm. But I don't know. I'm gonna stick around. Of course, I got my books. I got my job that I do. So I mean, I guess I've been blessed in that regard. I mean, I'm not gonna hold out. I'm not. Well, I mean, there's a lot of future. A lot of promise and a lot of potential. And I don't know. I feel like things this year have been kind of a bit of a turnaround point. We'll see where it goes from there. But anyway, but yeah, Zach, I need to bring you on again in the future. You bring a lot of humor to the live streams. I know I can be a little bit. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say monotone. Monotone, anyway. But I'm excited to work on, or I am excited to work on my fifth book. I mean, I've got a lot of people that I need to get back in touch with. Some of them told me this like 6 months ago, and I haven't gotten back to them yet. And I need to before they think like I've just dipped out on them. But I don't know. It'll probably be the same cycle. I'll probably have this book out. Probably have it back out in October. I mean, the last few years, that's how it's been, or last 2 years. I wrote my first book in 20 to September, or came out September 2023. Second book came out in May of 2024. Um, no, let me backtrack. Um, okay, I think, gosh, it's bad when you can't remember when you wrote your own book. Um, Let me see. First one I think I wrote came out September of 2024. Yeah, 2024. Then May of 2024 came my second book. Then October 2025, my third book, and now spring or May. So yeah. I mean, I've got. Anyway, sorry, I had to think about that. But anyway, and speaking of, I actually did go out on a whim, and I started getting better equipment. I ordered some audio equipment to really start making stuff like aside from vlogging and yeah, professional stuff that I probably needed to get up and do a long time ago. And I mean, you all have seen some of the work I've done. My friend Matt, my friend Matt, who runs Blasted Machines, I did a really good, cool feature on him. That anyway, Matt's a good friend of mine too. So I mean, there's a lot of good ideas that are around the future, around the bend, around the future, that are in the future. There we go. But anyway, it's going good. Sorry, I know that's probably unpleasant, but I tell you, all this pollen has. Ugh. Anyway, but yeah, staring to the. I mean, I guess. Well, okay. Well, I mean, you do have a point, Zach. Like that one time, like when we came back from the Cave City trip. I swear that Carnotaurus did have the chin of a Chad. He did. But you know what? Yeah, I mean, I have a sense of humor that maybe I just say what's on my mind, and that's the bad thing is I say what's on my mind. But I don't know. Yeah, just making it, just doing what I can. But anyhow, just kind of enjoying the night. It has been some beautiful weather here lately. And what else? Anyway, what was I going to say? Anyway, life is just lifing. There we go. Okay, it went to zero. Zero people. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I've been meaning to do a live stream for a while now. Although, I mean, it goes in and out all the time. Um, I don't know. Speaking of, I mean, I've seen some of the vlogger drama that's been going on right now. Um, well, I mean, I totally agree. I mean, I totally see why. If you know the channel, it's called Passing Through Productions, and Passing Through Productions is kind of a she poster. Well, when I say she, you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm not gonna cuss on my live stream, but I don't know. They typically like it's like they. I won't say. I want to say they troll. Probably the best way to put it is they troll other channels. There we go. Or vlogger channels. Um, Probably a big one that I mean they used to pester Adam the Woo a lot, and anyway, well, Zach, I mean that's the thing. I mean it's like I mean it says zero people. Like I mean if there was a way to show it on the other side of the camera, but no, it shows zero people right now. Huh, that's I guess maybe that's broken. Maybe that's what it is. But 1 second, let me. But what was I going to say? Anyway, the last video of my car fixing or my car trouble series comes out tomorrow at 10 a.m. I mean, I know the second one didn't really do well, but I don't really do, car related content or vehicle maintenance content. But I wanted to do it that way I could say, you know what? I went and I did it. It exists. It is a thing. I fixed my Oh, excuse me. I fixed my car. And anyway, I mean, yeah, I mean, I mean, like I said, it's been a good live stream so far. It feels good to hear from people. But I don't know. I mean, I'll probably, well, I don't know. Let me check something. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm just looking at some stuff. Oh, that sucks. Looks like somebody passed away. I'm actually looking at face space right now. Well, I call it face space. Oh yeah, actually, now that I'm looking at just recently, well, I won't say just recently. This happened like maybe 3 weeks ago. And now I can finally talk about it. But in Tracy City, Tennessee, there are actually about there were four abandoned locomotives. And I did a video. Actually, I did a couple of videos on it. I did a video of it for the first time back in like 2023. It was 2023, 2023, 2024. And then I did a follow up of one last year. But anyway, somebody bought the trains and they got them. They're all the way up in Pennsylvania now. But I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with these trains. I mean, because they've been sitting. I mean, they've been sitting for since like the early 19, well, actually, they've been sitting in that barn since the days of FDR when he got reelected and he set forth a minimum wage. But yeah, well, thank you, Zach. I mean, I'm very happy that my car, it did not cost me $3,200 and my car runs just fine now. That is a blessing in disguise, and I'd like to think, well, an answered prayer. I'll look at it that way because I did it. I felt I had the confidence, and you know what? It paid off. My car runs, and I'm happy. Now it's just a matter of just getting in with the summer. My friend Petro and I, well, my friend Petro, looks like we might have another outing here soon. By the way, Petro's a really good guy, a good man. Anyway, good friend too. Um, but anyway, I mean, we like, I think we're gonna, I don't know, we're gonna be heading out to one or either state park here after a little while. But anyway, I'll tell you a video that I do want to make. Um, I mean, I might end up having to do it on my own accord, but I'm like, you know what? It's not all that hard. But there are the uh, the headstone or the headstones of the Tennessee River, and those anyway, there are two. It's like 2 miles going east. I think it's east of going 2 miles eastward from a put in. And anyway, there's two headstones that stick up out of the water. Um, I don't know. And I'll tell you, like, I mean, when I went out there, there are so many abandoned boats that are on the Tennessee River, like right next to the Hellsbar Dam area. If you're familiar with that area, you just drive out there, you go to like, you boat, what have you. I can almost guarantee you will see like 4 or 5 abandoned boats just sitting by the water's edge. I don't know why, how they got put. Well, actually, my friend Andy's journey said that it might have had something to do with the previous marina owners. But that's all here. That's hearsay. There's no really comfort or and there's no confirmation on that. I mean, it's just kind of stuff that's kind of rumor. But anyhow, anyway, gosh. But yeah. Oh yeah, and I completely forgot this, but May the 4th happened yesterday. And that's one of the things that I saw. It's when like Disney does their May the 4th stuff. I think there was a poster that they did on it, and they did not include the sequel trilogy. I think finally people are admitting that the sequel trilogy sucked. But anyhow, I saw that just yesterday. Which I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. But gosh, I had a thought and I lost it. Oh well, I do that a lot. It's just I guess that's just how my brain works. I don't know. But yeah, wait, what was I going to look? Oh yeah. Actually, speaking of movies and stuff, I saw Project Hail Mary the other night, and I will say that was a really, really good film. Like really good. So for there is hope for Hollywood. There we go. I don't know. I kind of thought about seeing the new Mummy movie, Anyway, I kind of saw that it was kind of more. I don't know. I might see it, might not, but looks like it. But anyway, but yeah, um, Project Hail Mary is a really good film. Like a really good film. I'm kind of glad that there is. I don't know. I do want to see another film here soon, but oh, I'll tell you the one video or the one movie I do want to see, and I've been waiting for it since they announced it. I think it was like last year, but Scary Movie 6. And the thing that makes that things so special about Scary Movie 6 is I think it's the Wayne brothers. I believe it's the Wayne brothers. Let me check. Anyway, the Wayne, but yeah, okay. Oh yeah, so I was right then. But Scary Movie 6, the Wayne brothers got they got the rights back to the Scary Movie series. And from what I've seen, they it's going to be a funny one. And I'll tell you another video that or another movie that I mean, I wish it would come out sooner, but I know it's not the case, but Spaceballs 2, the new one. I want to see Spaceballs 2. That looks like that would be so good. But I mean, I don't know. I still kind of wish that maybe they would. I still kind of wish that they would do a. I wish they would have named the movie Spaceballs 2: The Search for More Money, like what they did back in the 80s. I think it was gosh, what was his name? He was Mel Brooks. There we go. There we go. Mel Brooks. His character Yogurt. It's like heaven forbid or something like that. We all meet again in Spaceballs 2: The Search for More Money. That's going to be a good one. As I love Spaceballs, I grew up. Well, I won't say. Well, I guess maybe that's one of the good things about how I grew up is I watched a lot of '80s movies as a kid. Um, which is a good thing. I mean, I saw a lot of funny stuff. Maybe that's why. And I'll tell you another movie from the '80s that when did it come out? But I'm gonna get you, sucker. That's a good one too. I'm gonna 1988, 4 years before I was born. And my goodness, I'm gonna get you, sucker will make you laugh. Well, now that you mentioned Zach, project wise, like what? As like in my books or well, anyway, for my books, of course, the fifth one I'm writing, or I'll probably start working on it probably about maybe about 2 days from now. I mean, I've already kind of started working on it. Um, Video wise, there are. I know I got to finish that one with you. Um, the next series is there are 3 videos I did with my family down in Alabama. One of them was an iron ore mining area that had been closed off and turned into a park. One of them was a really cool antique store. I mean, I like doing that kind of stuff. It's very interesting to see some of that stuff. And the other one is the Vulcan statue of Birmingham, and that statue is the largest iron statue in I think it's in the world. I think in the world or the U.S. And then there is another video that I am doing with my friend Petro. So about 4 videos out. I mean, I don't know. I'm sitting on a decent chunk of content. I mean, it's good. I mean, I mean, I've got a lot of stuff to work with. But that's kind of what I'm working on right now. And now from a bigger project, like I was saying, I did get some audio equipment. I ordered it through B&H Photo. And then I'm going to get I think it's like excuse me, it's a Rebel boom mic. You can get those usually for about 180, 200 bucks. Of course, I know a camera I can use or rent out. So, that's another thing that I don't know. Like I said, it's just a matter of bringing it together, making it happen, as you would, I guess, as people would say. Oh, it's I know my cat's here somewhere. She's being a cat. You know what? I'm also thinking about doing a meetup. Um, Probably in yes, my cat. Wait, Zach, I thought you knew I had a cat. Yeah, my cat is somewhere in the messing around in anyway the closet. I think she's no, she's messing around with a. Oh, she is attacking. She's attacking a cloth. Anyway, she looks amused. Show cat. You know what? Let me go get Patch. And I've showed her on my videos before. Come on, Miss Patch. Yeah, kitty. Kitty. See? Kitty. Light. Don't want that light. Say hi, Miss Patch. She looks so mad. Anyway, I love my cat. I saved her. But then again, I guess you could say she saved me. Isn't that right, Miss Patch? Well, you can see his tail. Yeah, Miss Patch. It's like, I'm going to move up a little bit. That way I block out the sun, or not the sun, the light coming off the right there. Yeah, Miss Patch. Yeah, Miss Kitty. Love you, Miss Patch. Anyway, Patch is she's a tuxedo. She follows me. There's an interesting thing about my cat. No, cat, don't eat that. Um, Patch, she likes to follow. Like I'll go on a night walk before I go to bed, and she will follow me all the way to the end of the road. I guess that just goes to show that she loves me. Isn't that right, Miss Patch? I think she's trying to get down. Or no. I think it's the tail. Anyway, I think she's just wanting the lovin's and the cuddlings. Isn't that right, Miss Patch? Oh, I'll tell you where I found her. She was a neighborhood stray, and she had a brother, but anyway, sadly he didn't make it. But anyway, she's my friend. Isn't that right, Miss Patch? He looks so amused. Anyway, but yeah. Anyway, she's followed me ever since. She's the baby. Isn't that right, Miss Patch? Key. Oh goodness. But but yeah. Patch. Anyway, she's a wonderful tuxedo. But yeah, that's the stuff that I'm working on as of right now. The Like I said, this thing is finally done and over with. And the thing is, when I wrote this, it's like there was like a lot, like it was hard to find some of the stuff, like and stuff. Some of these stories were just so cut and dry. Like, I mean, you could read it, you could read through it like 2 or 3 minutes, but it's like I had to really dig on this one. But I don't know. The hard work will pay off. That's where it matters. Then I can go and work on the fifth one. I plead the fifth. Oh, goodness. And she disappeared. No, no, she's staring at me. Yeah, well, I mean, I got four of them. I mean, like I said, I mean, you can find them in my in not the comments description box. The first one, Ghosts and Mysteries of Bradley County, Tennessee. That's been the big one. Ghosts and Mysteries of the Southern Cherokee National Forest, pretty decent. Ghosts and Mysteries of St. Augustine. That one did not do as well as I thought it would do, but I mean, St. Augustine and its ghost stories is kind of oversaturated anyway. And my fourth one. Now, the fifth one that I'm working on is Ghosts and Mysteries of Bradley County Homecoming. And I have found an interesting thing about Bradley County is there have actually been UFO sightings. I would not think it, but there have been UFO sightings confirmed in Bradley County, as well as Bigfoot. But anyway, thanks. That means a lot. But it's just a matter of just a lot of work, a lot of headache. And I think after I get done with my Ghost and Mystery series, um, I have not had one personally, but I do know of a lot of like okay, the one that just recently happened. Actually, there are two accounts that happened in Bradley County, and they happened like within maybe like 5 months of one another. The first time it was reported on the BFRO website, official witness, seeing it. It was reported by a lady, like it was down off not Lad Springs Road, no, Blue Springs Road, the very end of Blue Springs Road where it happened, where I think it was like Blue Springs Elementary stood. But anyway, as she reported, it was running across the railroad tracks and it darted into the woods nearby. Zach, which I mean, I'm pretty sure he's on here. He and his father saw two of them. But I mean, I haven't had any personal, but I do know a lot of stories from the area. Near the Polk County line, Bradley County, Polk County line, there was this is in my second book, but she was I would probably say she wasn't much older than I was, but she and her friend, they were exploring the woods nearby. They kind of got off kilter, and then they found these part of the trees which had been snapped like that. Usually, when you see stuff like that, like, a tree, it's like a perfectly healthy tree, but it looks like something went and grabbed it and twisted it. That's not the wind doing it. That's something with a lot of. Anyway, they found quite a bit of those, and I want to say one of them looked like it was a watchtower spot, or where something was watching, or something that could watch down on them from the valley below. And another one, this one isn't official either, but it came from let me see, I guess it'd be more of an in-law, I guess you'd say. An in-law, let me see, it was my late grandfather's second wife's son. And he was, I think I want to say, like, they were out in the middle of nowhere in the Cherokee National Forest, And anyway, it was in the middle of the night, but they heard this thing that was just a loud bellow. Like, I mean, it shook the. I mean, it was crazy, but that I mean, but I don't know. One of these days, I'll have myself a. Well, actually, you know what? Well, I mean, I don't know if it could have been a Bigfoot sighting on my end, but this happened when I filmed the ghost town of Shake Rag in Chattanooga. But I was walking up the hill, I was looking at all the different foundations, and I heard rustling. I kind of thought it was just somebody, but then I started looking and I just saw this big black mass that was just walking along the tree line. Um, I don't know. I I I thought it was a person, but you couldn't see through it. The thing had like you know how you can tell when it's somebody walking through the woods. I mean, this thing had no head. Like I couldn't see a head, or I didn't see a head. I didn't see like any like hands, sticking through the like a jacket. It was like this black mass that was walking through the woods. And I mean, people can call me crazy all you want, but I mean, I'm a very analytical person. Like, I mean, if I see something like that, I really have to like think, what is that really what I saw? Or what could it be? Could it be a black bear? Could it be something else? I mean, Andy, that is a big. I don't know. It happens. Some of the stuff you find it or that I found through people that on my channel and the videos I do. My friend Melissa, she has a lot of stories. She's actually got an interesting connection between the Warrens when they did a lecture at Cleveland State Community College back in the 70s, and that did happen. There are news articles that from the Cleveland Daily Banner. Granted, this was before Ed and Lorraine Warren were a household name. They were ghost hunters, but there really wasn't. Anyway, I know I'm getting a little bit off topic, but anyway, Melissa, her family, they were living in a house that was under Ed and Lorraine's radar. Best way to put it. But well, actually, I don't know. I'd have to think. I mean, because I guess there's other ways that other. I mean, sometimes these people, it's like they come out of nowhere and. Oh yeah, actually, I can tell you how I met the lady who I interviewed for that Bigfoot sighting in near Polk County. It was through my friend Mike, and anyway, I want to say that there is another gentleman out there. I think he lives out I think it's the Cleveland area, but he's seen a lot of stuff. But as of right now, the different ghost stories kind of like surrounding Bradley County. Zach, I mean, his family went through a lot of stuff, and he's a friend of mine too, a good friend of mine. But my best friend, well, his brother, he has a lot of interesting stories from when he was a nurse. Well, I mean, there's several different types of nurses, but he was anyway. He's had I mean that part of the book will be called Night Terror, or not Night Terrors, the Night Ward, because I mean, just because I mean, when you're dealing with anything like that, you kind of have to be anonymous. There we go. When you're dealing with anything in that, just because you don't want to slander somebody, and get hurt feelings, and how all that turns into a big giant snowball. But also there is another. I heard it was an old VFW that I think it was like the first VFW here in Bradley County. It was supposedly haunted. I found out through a gentleman. That's one of the guys that I got to get in touch with again. Hopefully, he doesn't think that I've just disappeared off the face of the earth. And then there is stuff that I have experienced that I know I saw what I saw, and that's going to be going in my book. Um, but I worked at a mechanic shop in Bradley County. And anyway, when I first came in, the guys would always joke around and be like, we don't go back in the tire room after 6 p.m. We just won't. And I thought, that's kind of a weird thing to say. And then I started talking about my experience as a ghost tour guide and how I used to investigate on and off throughout the years. And they were like, "Hey, Chet, bring your equipment." And anyway, there's a lot of weird stuff. Okay. Anyway, best way to describe it, after 6 p.m., Andy, I got my stuff, my equipment, and we went in there. And anyway, the moment that I walked in there, I was by myself, but you could clearly hear is somebody just grabbed a whole bunch of nut and bolts and they chucked it against against the concrete floor. I thought that was kind of weird. And I mean, I'm kind of too. I mean, I could see why it was either him messing around or not. But one of my coworkers, he was behind me when I was doing this, and a tire came falling out. And I mean, I looked behind me thinking, he's probably just messing around. He's screwing around with me. But he's like, dude, did you just see that? And I mean, I thought, well, I don't know how I feel about that one. But anyway, well, nobody was out. Again, you could hear like somebody was banging on something. I was the only one in the back room, and I had my K2 meter, and I went to this particular area of the building. It shot all the way into the red. I came around. I did a full 360 circle, and it wouldn't light up in that same spot. There was nothing electrical that was in that area that would cause it to shoot into the red. And the final thing that happened that evening, that again, it's hard for me to believe, but I know what I saw. But anyway, you have two in that particular mechanic shop, you have two tire racks. One right here, one right here. Usually the tires are pretty well locked in to those racks. They don't move. Well, my boss at the time, former boss, who's standing right behind me, two of these tires pulled themselves out and fell on the floor. He was freaking out. I mean, I'm trying to figure out if it's somebody, from the crew that's just messing around. And no, everybody would not go back in that room they would not go in that room for about a week after that happened. But that's another story. And my friend, I need to get in touch with Joel, but he had a very interesting experience that happened at an IHOP in Bradley County. And I'm almost curious to see, like, if I just ask some of the people who work there if they've had anything happen. And they're like, I can't find anything on it, but I know there's rumor of it. I mean, that's the thing, it's rumor. I can't figure out if if it's true or not. I wouldn't even know where to start. But this happened back in the 1980s, but I think it was the 80s. But there was an exorcism that took place in Bradley County. I think, yeah, in Bradley County. I think it was like over a period of like 10 years. It involved a lady, and it got so bad that the Vatican had to get involved. But I don't know anything else other than it's a rumor. But I don't even know where I'd look to find out about that. I guess maybe it's just like maybe I attract weird. Maybe that's my gift, is I attract weird people. And two, I mean, I'm probably the only one in Bradley County that deals in oddities. Like, I think this is what I'm very proud of. I got I think it was like 7 museum quality beaver skulls. Actually, anyway, I watched it and I bid sniped it. Anyway, it was like $280 worth of skulls, and I got it all for like I got it all for like $70. And a big one like this, like a really, really big one, these things usually sell for about $65. Anyway, I sold the rest of them and I made my money back in my booth. I have a brain. But anyhow, I guess it's just my own interesting world that I seem to attract all these things. Huh. Apparently, there is an escape room that's a haunted house in Chattanooga. Okay, that is cool. Oh, actually, that's an interesting one, Andy. The first real encounter that I ever had, and I still remember it. I mean, it was one of those things that it has stayed with me since it first happened to me when I was like 6 years old. I think it was like six, maybe around seven. But this happened at the first house that I lived with my family, and my parents were upstairs. I was the only one downstairs in the basement area. Well, we had a basement area that was attached to a garage, and next thing I know, I watched the door to the garage just banging and moving itself violently, and I thought that was kind of strange. But I thought maybe it had some to deal with something with the with airflow, AC. But no, as clear as day, the knob, the doorknob turned itself full 360 and it flung itself open and freaked me out. I watched as it slammed itself as hard as it could, and it did it a second time. And the third time, I whispered, "Please stop!" And that's when it slammed so hard that the whole house shook. And now, granted, like I said, that was a very freaky experience, and probably the thing that has, gosh, probably one thing that that has kind of stayed with me when I used to give ghost tours in St. Augustine. But we were giving I was in training at the time, but I was giving a go, or anyway, I was learning from the guy in front of me. We passed this room we call the Wild West room, just because there's always a lot of activity that happens there. And I looked at the far end of the room, and sitting in a wooden chair was this black mass. And I thought, you know what? I don't know if I'm really seeing what I'm seeing. I'm just going to keep walking. And anyway, there was a couple that was on the tour doing the house tour. And anyway, actually, there's an interesting story, Jay Patterson, about that. But anyway, there was a couple that was moving through the room. They had an SLS camera, and if you know how an SLS camera works, it spits out a stick figure. If for something that's not there, it spit out a stick figure that was sitting in that chair. So I was not crazy, but there is an okay. But going back to you, Jay, Princeton Hills. I mean, you do know that like that big giant open area, that big hill, that is a burial mound. And that might be the reason. Oh wait, never mind. I saw the other half of that. Sorry. Anyway, that's my stew. But that you know, actually I included that in my book about the mound, but I really didn't know if it was haunted. I just thought it was very kind of morbid that you had all these really nice houses around a burial mound. But I mean, that could be the reason why. I mean, that I don't know. It's but anyway, I don't know. You say things, but I mean, I guess really, if you see that kind of thing, you kind of have to be analytical. I mean, try to. But anyway, I mean, it wouldn't put it like that. That could be I mean, that could be the reason why. I mean, it could be something related to the Native American graves that are in that area. And I'll tell you another one too that I heard that I didn't realize this till somebody told me the other day, but it is a part of the woolen mill. Well, I mean, if you've ever been to the woolen mill, you have where Grit and Grace is, that dance studio is, but then you have that area, excuse me, that's closed off. It says no trespassing. You can't go. I have heard that people have heard like a lot of banging and loud noises in that spot. But anyway, I don't know. Like I said, my fifth book is going to be an interesting one. And speaking of mounds, they did find another mound. Granted, I mean, for those that are tuning in that probably might not be or know the area too well, but gosh, excuse me. But the Hardwick Farm it's a really big farm here in Bradley County, and there is a mound on the property. And I don't know, it's just kind of interesting that when you read the plans for what Bradley County want, I don't know. I hope that they do something special with it, like maybe make it some type of park. Talking about like burial mounds and the history behind it. I think that would be a cool thing to do with it. But I mean, I'm not a city planner, so I mean, I don't really know. But yeah. One second, there was something I was going. Hmm. Oh yeah. You know what, Andy? That is actually an interesting thought. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I guess one way of thinking about it is it's hard to quantify. But the thing is, I mean, kind of have to look at it a certain way. Um, Kind of how I look at. I mean, maybe this is how I've always kind of explained what ghosts could be potentially be made of. I always think of it as electricity, some kind of electrical source, or some kind of pulse. I guess maybe that'd be. Um, I don't know. I mean, people have been trying to communicate with the dead for a very long time. Like I think I watched one video, read up on it that Nikola Tesla, gosh, let me not. But I guess really why, maybe just because you can't see it. Maybe that's a big reason why maybe the scientific community doesn't really accept it, or maybe it's just like one of those things that, again, maybe it's just hard to quantify. But there are, I mean, I mean, clearly, I mean, you can see like across the board there is something going on. But mentioned before about the. You know what? Like I said, Jay, there's probably an energy about that coming from that house, since it is right next to since it's right next to a burial mound. But I don't know. It's just like, but going back to that question, I mean, it's just like there's there's a loaded. I mean, it's kind of like a loaded question. I mean, it's just like there's just so much. I don't know. I really wish that science would actually kind of break into it more and look more into it. But I don't know. It's just because people see things, But I guess that's neither here nor there. Okay. Oh, pathway. Sorry. I thought you were still talking about the. Pardon me for that. I thought you were still talking about the mound at Princeton, but Pathway Press. Let me see. I mean, Pathway. Come on. Let me look at. Like I said, Jay, I completely misread that. My brain is not wanting to brain today. The location. Okay. Let me look at. Huh. It's not far from the Philhar branch. I don't know. That'd be something to look into. I wonder. I'm kind of curious to. Okay. All right. I was gonna say I was looking at it on Google Maps, but I don't know. That'd be something to look into. I mean, I wouldn't put it past me if they're. I mean, I know the building's been around. Well, what I'm looking at, I mean, it looks like it's been around for a while. Um, I'll tell you another building. I kind of wonder if it's got anything in it. Is the farmhouse off Durkee Road. Um, I don't know. People said that they've seen lights coming from inside of it, but I'm kind of thinking maybe it's you know maybe not so much paranormal, but somebody may have broke in, probably just lighting something up to keep not keep warm, but at night, somebody who's probably just struggling. Oh, okay, confirm. Okay. Anyway, life is a dream. Dig it. Oh yeah, and today was voting day. You know that again. That's an oh okay. Actually, I do kind of wonder about that too because Stampers is haunted. The Phil what used to be the Cleveland Bank, that there is a ghost story attached with that, but I don't know it. I mean, but I do know a lady who who works there that knows what's going on, and they've gotten some activity from the the theater down there or the theater there, but again, they haven't. You know, there's but I guess really there's nothing that constitutes why it should be haunted, but still you have activity that's happening in it. I guess that's kind of a head scratcher. Um, but I don't know. There is actually this is one story that kind of freaks me out a little. Well, yeah, I mean it kind of speaking about Native American stuff, but like how you pass down North, no, no, not North Lee, but we're yeah, North Lee. Where North Lee cuts like through Paul Huff and Stewart Road. Anyway, it's the big historical sign that is Chief Jack Walker. And anyway, like in the early 1900s, Chief Jack Walker, he did have a grave marker, but when they widened the road for North Lee, that marker disappeared. So one of the things that I heard this story last year, but it's like there was, I think he was a police officer or a sheriff or something to that effect, and there was a lady who had some divining rods, dowsing rod, divining rods. Anyway, I think that they managed to find where they think Chief Jack Walker was buried. But what I'm curious about is to see if nothing but cakes or nothing but cakes, and maybe even Five Guys burgers and fries. That whole unit, because that whole mall area, shopping mall area, or a strip mall area, that used to be Chief Jack Walker's house, or where his house stood. But anyway, that'll be another one to explore when I begin the task of doing another book. It's been a long day today. Well, then again, today's my off day, so there's that. Yeah, I mean it. Like I said, Andy, it's just like you hear like I guess that's what happens with having a YouTube channel. I mean, you hear from friends who hear from other people, then you hear from like this, that, the other thing, and next thing you know, I mean, you find out, I guess, what's an open secret, I guess, or a secret that not many people know about. Um, and actually, this one I covered in my first book, but if you ever like come back to Cleveland Museum Center at Five Points, they have it. But they have two pieces of the Chautauqua Wall, and the Chautauqua Wall that has had a huge controversy behind it for a very long time. But this was like 1898 when this happened, early 1900s. But Isaac Cooper, he was on his farm. He was gathering stone to work on his mill. I think it was a sawmill that he had. But anyway, he found a wall. He dug it up. This thing came out, I think, to be like 2,500 feet long, 3 feet high. Well, maybe about 2 feet high, I think, or maybe it was like 2 or 3, but 3 feet wide. And as he found it, he found some of these mysterious etchings, or what looked to be hieroglyphs. Well, he brought down, I think, yeah, he brought down people from Smithsonian, and for a few years, some of the stones from the Chautauqua Wall did sit on display. But the controversy behind it is it looked like it was Paleo Hebrew. I mean, I guess take that with what you will. And anyway, like over the next few years, you had people like archaeologists coming from as far as Japan to see what this mysterious wall is. But near the end of it all, Isaac Cooper ends up reburying the wall. And from what I understand, I think he just got tired of dealing with just all the, I guess, anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is Back in 2019, a few friends of mine found the wall, and some of those from the Chattata wall are on display at the museum. But what the interesting thing is when they brought those stones into the museum center at Five Points, they had a whole crap ton of electrical problems going on. Like even like putting it anywhere near the rocks, it was just a very weird situation. But granted, I think that might have been more coincidence than anything else. But I mean, you never know. Um, sub. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We're sorry, Jay. I had a brain fart. Um, the subdivision. Yeah, I want to say that there is a subdivision in that area. You know, you drive down Shady Valley Road, Chattata Valley Road, Chatta Valley. You know, people pronounce it in all different ways. But it's like you go down. It's like you got to follow like the ridge that backs up on the Hiwassee River, and anyway, it's an interesting spot. Um, I'll tell you one thing that I need to make a video on it at some point, but you know, Cleveland, Tennessee was a hotbed during the Civil War. You know, and there were two train wrecks that happened, one in Black Fox, the Black Fox community, and the other near where it's pretty close to where the airport is, you know, the regional airport that's here in, you know, Cleveland. But the interesting story with the one in Cleveland is I think this was like near the very end of the Civil War. There was a Union train. I think it was either no, a Confederate and a Union train had spotted each other. There was a bit of a chase going down the tracks. In the I think it's Chatham. Anyway, it's the Chatham community. It's like or like Shady Valley or anyway the Fishtown community. There were a group of Union soldiers that were no, it was it was Confederate. Anyway, they were down in the base of that. They got word that these two trains were coming, so they got the idea to blow up a bridge that was going to be pretty close to where it was happening. So they sent out one of their privates. He put charges underneath the bridge. But the funny thing is, the train that they were trying to derail passed. The one that was of their own people, they blew up by accident. Um, but I don't know. There is some stories that say that there's like several, like no telling how much Confederate gold. But you know, I mean, I'm pretty sure something like that has probably been found by somebody throughout the years, and they didn't tell anyone. At least that's kind of what I'm thinking. But I don't know. That's the thing about Cleveland. I mean, I don't think people like. I mean, I've said this even going back like as far back as like 2021. It's just like people say that there's nothing to do in Cleveland, but the history, like the stuff that goes on in this town, like I mean, there's a crap ton of stuff. I mean, but it's just a matter of digging to find it. Okay, there is a okay, that is actually an interesting story. The most scared I've ever been. Um, I will probably let me think back on. I would say probably the most scared I've ever been is after I gave a. Well, actually, okay then. There is an interesting story. Anyway, it's pretty much why I had to quit being a ghost tour guide. But the best way to describe it is I got an attachment, and anyway, this was like the last tour that I ever gave. But I sat in my truck and I recited the Lord's Prayer. I burned some sage, kept on saying it. And the strangest thing is, it felt like a light bulb had popped or gone off over my head. Like people describe that, you know, that's usually when something loses its grip on you. And it's just like the more I did this, the more, like, I mean, you could like, I mean, I could hear something say, "Shut up, shut up, shut up." And I mean, I just kept on saying the Lord's Prayer. And anyway, it's like I gave the worst tour I'd ever given for the company that I worked for. And after that, I said no more. And actually, that's what caused me to come back to Cleveland was just having a bad experience. Probably like, but probably the actually this did happen. With my heart issues. Granted, I mean, it's not a serious heart issue. I mean, it's just an irregular heartbeat, but that was before I knew what one was. And anyway, that was about the most scared I've ever been because my heart rate was beating way more than it should, like way out of rhythm. And anyway, that was not a fun ER visit, but I'd probably say that's probably been the most scared I've ever been. And I mean, there was a lot more other stuff that happened in that. Like I had a spirit box, and I mean, there was something that was obviously mad on the other end of that. But anyway, that it was a freaky experience. Oh, scariest in Cleveland? Scariest thing that I've ever. Well, gosh, I'm trying to think. There was a time that I mean I saw something and it was well not really so much saw, but it's like when you experience something. I mean that. Gosh, sorry. Now you got me thinking. Okay, actually there was. This freaked me out. Um, when I worked at M&M Mars, I worked. It was a contractor, a private contractor. Anyway, I was sitting in the bathroom, doing my business, and anyway, I kid you not, this happened. Like it, like like how somebody is like hits against like a wall or something, and like you can clearly hear it. Well, I was in the bathroom and I watched, and it had like one of those like those toilet paper things. It's like a black toilet paper box thing. Anyway, that thing shook like crazy, and it was as if somebody was smacking it as hard as it could. That's probably one of the freaked out like that experience that no that I don't know that was a very interesting story in itself. Anyway, like I say, I mean, I'm very analytical. I try to explain things off the bat, and it's just like you see some things that you can't really, it shouldn't happen. Is what it, It, anyway, I digress there. Patch, patch. Yeah, kitty. Tell me about it, Miss Patch. Yeah, that's the thing about tuxedo cats. Is they say that they speak to everyone. You can't really. Well, I don't know. I love my cat. All right, you guys. Well, and I mean, I might get off here in a moment. This has been an awesome live stream. I'm glad I got to hear from people that I haven't really talked to in a while, and it's always good to hear people tuning in. But no, no. Awesome. Oh goodness. Well, they say That I did talk about that a little bit at the anyway. I guess to backtrack. Um, anyway, good hearing from you too, Andy. It's been a while. Cat. Well, I mean that is true. Now, this is what I have heard. If you blink like really slowly at a cat, that's like another language of theirs that, like they, shows that you love them or it's some kind of affection. I don't know. Cats are weird. Um, but anyway, Brian, about the car. Actually, yeah, the car situation. Well, I got my car up and running. That is what I did. Um, I know I put out another video. Well, I got another video coming out tomorrow. The first one that I did, well, I guess I should say second. I replaced the valve cover gasket, and anyway, that wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. It was just very tedious. And then I had to get this is in the upcoming video, but I replaced the coolant bypass hose and the coolant bypass hose and the transmission oil cooler line, but it was not the rubber lines, it was the metal piece. Anyway, anyway, I'm very proud. Like the actual piece that came out, I had to go like this is just goes to show like how hard it is to get some parts, but I couldn't find anywhere in Cleveland. But I ended up going to the Toyota dealership in Cleveland, got the part that I needed. It cost me $103. And I mean, I'm pretty sure if there was a junkyard somewhere here in Cleveland, I think there's one in Chattanooga. I'm pretty sure I could have gotten one because Scions, that they're every well, not really so much everywhere, but anyway, yes, I brought my car back from the brink, I guess you could say. But now it's just I don't know. I got a lot of stuff for the summer that I got going on. Like I was saying, I'm working on my fifth book now. This one comes out in 2 days. I'm very happy. But the thing is, I mean, like the struggle of being an artist is real. It's just, well, I mean, granted, I mean, it's like yeah, I guess you got to just do what you got to do, I guess. Um, anyway, I'm actually probably in after the fifth book. I'm going to come out with my novel, and my novel I've been sitting on for about. Let's see. I started working on it back in 2013, about 13 years. I've started. I mean, I worked on it for about 13 years. I started kicking it in high gear back in 2019. Got the rough draft of it done, and now I just have to go and. I mean, I've got an editor that's been working with me on it to clean it up, but then I might do a book on poetry. I don't know. Just living the dream. Making sure not to buy one of these again. Home Depot makes things look so cool, but I know I shouldn't buy it. And that is my white elephant. Because they say a white elephant is it's like it's something that's really expensive, but it's like who are you gonna sell it to? That's how I look at my shark. Although it is pretty neat. I don't know. This year for Home Depot's Halloween decoration line, I saw that they had like a 9-foot T Rex. I want that with my, I guess, what are the kids calling it nowadays? The tisms, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, me and my tism mind, I have to have a 9-foot T Rex to go out for. Oh yeah. Speaking of that, Brian, the one in Knoxville closed 2 days ago. I mean, I know there was a whole situation with that. I did go in with the family, but this was like back in it's like early March, like when they first really announced they were closing it. Um, But I went in there. I mean, that was the thing. Like, even with them closing that location down, everything was still at retail price, if not more, which doesn't make much sense. Hey, Dad. Anyway, my dad's home, but work good. No, I don't blame you, Dad. Good night, Dad. It was Knoxville. Jay, he lives in the Knoxville area, but I don't know. One of these days, I mean, I guess that's always kind of been my dream is to collaborate with people like Jay or John. I mean, my friend. I mean, but don't get me wrong. I mean, my friend Petro, he's a really cool guy. And if you want to check out, like, he does a lot of cool caving stuff. But it's Petro was here, and the next place that we've talked about doing is doing a kayaking excursion. It should be fun, very humorous. But anyway, I'll tell you. Speaking of the Pigeon Forge area, I need to. I've heard different things. I mean, let me see. Let me see if it opened yet. Did the new Lookout Stadium open? Oh, okay then. I, that one kind of caught me off guard. It opened up 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. Well, now I have something to try to find. I mean, but going back to Jay, I met him at Dragon Con back in 2020, no 2022, and on that same, actually in that same place, I got to meet Adam, and I mean that's something that I was very fortunate that I got to do is I got to tell Adam the Woo, how he inspired me. And I'll tell you, I mean, when Adam first, like when the word first got out that he had passed, I mean, that messed me up really bad. And that's the thing. I mean, maybe it's just because I've followed him for like since 2011. Well, not 2011, since 2012, and I even got to meet him and tell him thank you. I think that's why it hit me as hard as it did. But I saw that too, that Jacob was in Chattanooga. That's another thing too. I mean, I don't know. I think it would be cool to work with Jacob too, or to collaborate. I want to say that. Anyway, I was going to say he and Andy would talk occasionally. I mean, I know Andy used to be pretty close with, well, not close, but friends with Adam. But I don't know. One of these days, I do want to get down to Florida and pay my respects. Um, I don't know. Speaking of, I don't know. I mean, I guess take it with what you will. What Passing Through Productions does. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just because he gave Adam such a hard time. Maybe that's why I see, like, there was a lot of drawback in that video that he made, where, well, it wasn't him, but it was somebody that followed him, and put that whole thing over Adam's, gravesite. But I don't know. I mean, do with what you will. I mean, it kind of, I mean, I can see where it would kind of be in poor taste. Yeah, I don't know. That's the interesting world of vlogging. It takes you to so many places and you meet so many people. And even in the current state of the platform, it's still fun. Which that's been an interesting thing too. For a while there, I thought it was just me, but I mean, you have some of these channels that have like 2 million subscribers, and their view count has gone down to like, I want to say like 15 to 20,000 a video. That shouldn't be happening with a channel that big. Oh, about, I mean, that it's a oh, it's an interesting story that happened. I mean, I don't know if Passing Through Productions took the video down. Anyway, I mean, the guy is humorous. I mean, but on the same note, it's like, I don't know, some stuff can kind of feel. See if see if it. Oh, oh, okay. I see what. Okay, so he did. Because I know therefore, I think it was by Adam's sister Faith that I think she asked him to take down a few of his videos regarding Adam, and but I think what he did is he put some of these videos to members only because I see that because I mean I see the video where it was talked about. It's like no, what you've been told about this video isn't true, but anyway. Well, I mean that's kind of the I mean that like I said, I mean he gave Adam a lot of crap. And like I said, I mean if it's if it's parody, it's to be if it's just to be parody, to have a little bit of fun here and there, I totally understand, but I mean if you just read through the comments that some of these people have said on those videos, it'll break your heart. But you know what? I've heard that too about what's been going on with, I've heard that AI summary has kind of done a number. And, this recent lawsuit that happened, with that, I think it was that one woman I think it was California where this happened, but, she sued Meta and she sued YouTube, for, I guess, for harm. I don't know. People are thinking that that case might do a number. And then too, I mean, it gets I mean, I get some of this stuff too. It's like oh, what was I going to say? Oh yeah. But yeah, Brian, I mean oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. Shorts are being pushed more, and shorts that seems to be the thing and I hate that YouTube is trying to be TikTok when YouTube is not TikTok. Um, but anyway, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just like summarizing things. I mean, I could see where that would kind of hit. I don't know. Sometimes I think about maybe branching out a little bit and about branching out a little bit and getting into Rumble just to have a foothold there. I almost wonder if if you look at like how businesses rise and fall, these companies that seemingly are like too big to fail, and it's like they fall from the inside. I almost wonder if that would end up being YouTube. It's like they're probably watching me and like, or the algorithm is watching me like, you can't say that, but probably not. But anyway, it's been I don't know what to think about. Anyway, I do know what to think about it. It's I mean, because they're back in January. I mean, I took a pretty big, I don't know, just watching something that took like 6, 7 years to build and watching like it just get torn apart. It'll break you. And I almost kind of wonder if maybe it's because like the video that I made that really blew up was a very interesting topic. But it happened back in 1934, and in 1934, and they supposedly found a temple. I mean, there is a story by the Knoxville News Sentinel. Anyway, I did a video on that, and that video is actually what got me monetized. It blew up that way, but I don't know, it's interesting, like, it's that one video that you don't think will do well, but it does. Um, anyway. Oh, yeah. But about the home pages stuff, that's actually a true thing. Like, like I won't say way back, this is as of recently, but they used to be, you used to have like an entire wall of suggested videos at the end of every video that you could watch. And now it's just like three, boom, boom, boom. I mean, that's the thing too about it, Jay. It's like that's why I don't really I got off TikTok like the first time I got onto it. I just don't like it. And the only reason why I make YouTube shorts is just to either I'm sharing, an upcoming video or it's something that's not supposed to be informational. It's just I find it cool. Like the other day, the short that I posted was of the antique store that I have my booth in, and it's like right across from me. But they have a funerary thing, or anyway, you could watch it. That they used to drape in like during the Victorian, not the Victorian era, but the early 1900s, like in funeral parlors, and they also had a mock Annabelle, which I thought was interesting. But they do a lot of 3D printing. Yeah, and I mean that's kind of why I'm thinking is like from what I understand is YouTube put a lot of AI into this new algorithm, and I'm almost kind of wondering if this whole AI, well, people have already been talking about it that this AI stuff might actually the bubble might burst on it. Thank you, Jay. I am different. I try to be. I mean, that's just a matter of, like I said. I mean, I've done YouTube for about, well, if you include my days with Adventures United, which that I mean that was like going all the way back to 2017. So I mean, I've been doing YouTube since 2017. I don't like AI videos at all either, especially like AI slop. I mean, one of the things that the CEO of, YouTube talked about is how he's going to get rid of AI slop, which I mean, he has been doing it, but I mean, it's taken out a few channels as well that were pretty big. Also, another thing that seems to is I guess the I guess it'd be the definition. Well, not really definition, but the how subjective authentic content is. Apparently, that's a new thing that I don't know. Maybe my because like I said, I like making my own videos. I vlog. I don't really do video gaming. I don't really. I mean, there's just a lot of things I don't. It's like I post, my life and my adventures. Which, by the way, I got to tell you, I've got a yeah. I mean, that's another thing too. AI has gotten so good now that you cannot tell the difference. Like one of the things that, admittedly, that I do like is it's like Star Wars Untold, and I think it's like another Star Wars channel, but they used a well maybe okay maybe it is different, but they used AI as art, and they created these really cool Star Wars fan films. But I mean, clearly, there has to be like stating, this is AI because it's getting to a point where you can't tell the difference, and that's pretty scary. And probably the thing that kind of scares me too is, at least in the art field. Yeah, I mean it's just very scary to think that. I mean, I think it was Disney, maybe another, but anyway, I mean, I can't remember the company, but it's like it's like they talked about switching completely to AI. Now, to be honest, AI can be used as art, but at the same time, it should not be used to replace an artist. That's where it kind of it loses that it crosses the line pretty much. I don't know. It, it, it it's an interesting world we're living in. Who would have thought AI? Um, but I mean, eventually, I mean, my thing is, I want to say that I watched this video and I read about it, but there was I forget, I think it was a law firm. Well, anyway, it may have been a company. I watched it. It's called Clownfish TV on YouTube, and they did talk about it's like one company. It's like their AI screwed up, and they gave away something for free. Total mess up. But that's why I know don't. I mean, don't replace. Because if you think about it, if you, I mean, if you replace things with certain, people with AI, then I mean it already puts a strain on a job market. Yes, exactly. I mean, it's like I don't know. I mean, it's like I'd never thought it'd be this hard to get a job. Well, like an actual 9 to 5. I mean, but then again, I mean, I'm making it. I mean, I pay my bills. That's the important part. But at the same time, it's like I don't know. I don't know what my future's. Well, I mean, hope and pray for the better. That's about all you can do. Or maybe just well, maybe I could do like some make like maybe I could make some stupid people content. Maybe that's what I need. Like, well, man, not stupid people. What's the best way to describe it? You know, YouTube short sludge. Well, no, I don't even know. It wouldn't be YouTube shorts. Like, okay, it's like whenever you get on Instagram or like Facebook Reels. And next thing you're just watching people do these stupid things. The next thing you know, it's like 2 hours later, and you're like, how did that happen? Okay, okay, that's okay. That's another one, Amy. That honestly, it's freaky because you can't like you used to like. I mean, you could tell when somebody when it was fake, just by its body movements. But it's like to a point now, like it's like it's copy. Ugh, I don't. It makes me worry. It makes me worry. Mm. But well, I mean, but I guess being like I will say though, probably some of the funny stuff that I mean, I do like kind of some of that Bigfoot AI stuff, where it's like Bigfoot doing stupid things. I always thought that was kind of humorous, but I don't know. It's like they've talked about doing AI and granted that was a few years ago. That's what caused the SAG writer strike was because of that. But yep, I don't know. I mean, so I mean, I guess AI. I mean, I think really AI has been blown out to be thought of as some kind of godsend when it's not. It is technology that will screw up. Um, it's a computer or it's a computer system that can only do so much. And I don't know. I mean, it'll. Like I said, I'm waiting for the AI bubble to just and hopefully things can be just a little more normal again. Oh goodness. Anyway, you guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it a night. Anyway, good chatting with everyone. Good seeing that this live stream turned out good. Oh, wait 1 second. Okay, and that's another. Yeah, actually, that's another thing too, Amy. But anyway, guys, I'm tired. I'm calling it a night. Peace out, y'all. Well, anyway, y'all know what I'm saying. Peace out, you guys.